Hello, how is everyone? How's your week been? Who's got snow? Who's wishing for snow? Who's wishing snow would go away? We've got a lot of frost, a lot of threats of snow, but none yet, thankfully. I don't mind the snow. I'm not that keen on driving in it, but I hate the ice. So do you know that way when it turns to slush, then it turns to ice, and oh no, I always think I'm going to fall and break a bone, because I am so clumsy, and anything that you don't want to happen to you tends to happen to me, so let's not take that risk. Let's try and avoid falling on the ice or the snow. What has everyone been up to this week? I have been planning more stuff to do with the business, planning more stuff to do with the podcast. So when I say business, I tend to mean the therapy business, unless I group everything together, just for future reference. If I ever say that and you start getting confused, like, what the hell is she talking about? That's what I mean. So I've got new things coming to the therapy business at the beginning of next year, and obviously more will evolve throughout the year. So we're at planning stages for some things, which is quite exciting. I was speaking to somebody today about potentially a wee something starting up. Don't know if I would call it a business, more a social thing. Yeah, more a social thing that everyone can join in if they want. But that's as much as I'm telling you just now. If you're on TikTok, you might see something about it tomorrow. I may even post about it on my socials. We said we might say something about it tomorrow. This is me and this other person. But it wasn't 100% we're going to say it tomorrow, because we literally had, like, I don't even think it was a 5-minute chat about it today. I phoned and said, oh, how do you fancy doing this? And you're like, yeah, sign me up. And I was like, right, that was easy. So yeah, that's something that some of you might like, some might not. I don't know. But I will fill you in. If you aren't on my socials, you will probably hear about it on here next week. I am also starting to get dates organised for the 2-week podcast. 2 weeks worth of podcasts, because I need to start recording them, because obviously I'm recording them in between work, kids, home, family, this podcast, well, the regular podcasts. So yeah, it's going to be a mad sort of 4 weeks plus for me anyway, and I still need to do my Christmas shopping in between. But I'm sure you have all heard me saying before how much I hate shopping, which means that most of my Christmas shopping's done in the house, sitting on the couch or lying in my bed with a cover over me, nice and cosy, click of a button. Now, it's never that easy, because normally I see things and there's not enough money in my bank for it. So that only happens when I've been paid, and then I have to wait again until the next payday, because I normally spend, because I'm like, alright, we'll get everything in the now, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do the next thing, then we do the food shop, then we do the gas and the electricity and all the bills and the mobile bills and the whatever bills, and then the next thing you know, it's like, bank said no, computer said no. So yes, I think we're all in the same boat just now, aren't we, between cost of living, Christmas, whatever. We're all skint, aren't we? I mean, I think I could win the lottery and I'd still be skint. I swear to God. I'd win the lottery, I'd go and give everybody a share of money, I'd be giving to charity, I'd be buying a house for me and a house for my boys and whatever else. And then the next thing I'd know, I'd be like, did I just win X amount of £1 million? Because my bank's saying 100. And that would be in a good day. That would be probably the day I get paid for work. I'm kidding on. But yeah, money doesn't go far these days, does it? So you could become a millionaire, and you genuinely would still have to work for the rest of your days. Because when you think about if you win money, if you're anything like me, you want to get all the big bills paid out the way. So you don't want to have a mortgage, you want to pay the house outright. Just to make sure that you don't miss a mortgage payment and don't get that house took off you, you know. So yeah, you want to pay the big bills off, don't you? You don't want to have that kind of hanging over your head, oh, I still need to pay that for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And at least you know, even if you've not got as much as a tin of beans in your cupboard, at least you know you've got a roof over your head. So there you go. There's an insight into Aileen's spending habits. But I don't buy rubbish. Everything I buy is needed, in my opinion. Anybody else's opinion is wrong. So, what is everybody's plans for Christmas? Have you made? Do you do the same thing every year? I think, did I touch on this last week? Here we go. Aileen forgets what she spoke about a week ago. But anyway, this could be Groundhog Day between now and Christmas. You may get this question asked every single week. Your answer could change every week depending on how many people annoy you. So, we normally go to my mum's. Might go to my mum's, might not go to my mum's, don't know if I'm going to my mum's. I just like to sit in my jammies all day and be a pig. Be a slouch. What was was it Harry Enfield? Wayne and Wynetta, were they the slouches? I can't remember, but yeah, that would be me. Just sit there, do nothing. The boys are enjoying playing all their new computer games or whatever they've got, or I don't know. Then dinner. Because the kids, I mean, I don't care what age you are, because I'm still somebody's child. I might be in my 40s and I might have my own children, but I'm still somebody's child. And I just sit and nibble away at chocolate all day in Christmas. So, do not tell me you don't. We normally have a brunch, lunch come, breakfast come lunch, because we normally have it about 10:30, 11 at Christmas. And it's usually a fry up, isn't it? But I don't like everything in a fry up. We'll not go there. We'll not go into Aileen's moaning about food. So we have that. But you're eating chocolate before that, and then you're eating chocolate after it, so you don't need anything. Then come your dinner, you're absolutely stuffed by the time you've ate your soup. And then this meal gets put down to you and you're like, oh, how am I going to eat that? But you can always make room for your pudding, can't you? See, even if you only take one bite of your potato or your turkey or whatever you have on Christmas Day, and then you're like, oh, I can't eat anymore. Like, you physically can't move. You still have room for pudding. And again, I won't hear anybody say otherwise. Always. And what's your favourite pudding at Christmas? I love anything with pavlova, anything with meringue. Although not if it's got lemon in it. I don't like lemons. I'm not a fan. Who's mouth watering? Who's thinking about what they're having for Christmas? I mean, I don't know what I'm having for my main meal yet, but I know I want a pavlova, and there's always soup before it, isn't there? But yeah, it won't be long. We've only got 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. I'll cry. My next payday I'll be crying because it'll all go back out in the one day. Might need to do a GoFundMe to buy a tin of beans. I'm joking before anybody says, do you need help? Or start spreading the rumour. Aileen's skint and can't feed her kids. But yeah, let's talk shop. What's the in thing this year for the kids for Christmas? Because my kids are too big now, they're too old. So it's not toys, it's computer games, trainers, trackies, that sort of thing. All the smelly stuff, guitar stuff, tools, all the big people things. So what's the in toy? I remember when we were kids and my mum and dad, in fact there was 2 different Christmases. So my brother, there was one year he wanted Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Turtles in a Headshell, Turtle Power. Don't sue me. So he wanted them, and my mum and dad hunted high and low. And there was one particular one, and don't ask me what one it was because I can't remember. One particular one he wanted, and nobody could get it anywhere. So they queued, they went hunting for it, and I think they maybe got it like literally the days before Christmas. Then there was another year. Now I don't know what way around this was. I'm presuming the turtles were first, but then it might, I don't know. But then there was WWE wrestlers, and again there were certain wrestlers or certain parts to go, like it might have been the ring or something, I can't remember. You couldn't get anywhere, and again they hunted high and low and had to queue and whatever else to get it. So there's always one particular toy every Christmas. I can't think. I remember when my oldest was 2 or 3. I can't, but 2 or 3, and he wanted a Superman action figure. Now, Superman wasn't an in thing at this point. Nowhere sold any Superman toys. It wasn't in the shops, it wasn't in the cinema, it wasn't anywhere. And I went to, do you remember Woolworths? I was away down Woolworths, and I'm saying to the woman in the shop, I've hunted high and low, are you going to get any Superman toys in, blah blah blah? And she's like, no, there's no, like there isn't such a thing, like nobody sells something like that. And I was like, right, okay. So that was fine. Thought, right, got everything else on his list for Santa. And do you know, now bearing in mind, he didn't just get a couple of things, he got a lot of toys. And for months he went on about how Santa didn't get him a Superman. Give me a break, like, really? Out of all the toys, and you realise that Santa did not bring you Superman? Okay. Bad Santa. So, yeah, it's funny how the wee minds work. And we were talking to my cousin yesterday, the day before, and we were saying about how my 2 boys were always brilliant when they were writing their Christmas letters, and they never really asked for anything big. This is most of the stuff on their wee list were like things you could get at the pound shop. They were never, but I think that's because I've never been a materialistic person, so I'm presuming they get that side of it from me. Obviously, as they got older, they wanted like PlayStations and things, but even at that, it was like they maybe wouldn't ask for anything else, or it was only if you really can afford it, or only if Santa can really get it. Like, and if they didn't get it, they wouldn't have been bothered. I mean, obviously they did get it, because as parents we try our damnedest, don't we? So yeah, it's not long, but none of my 2 have mentioned anything about what they want for Christmas this year. So I just don't know what's happening. It's like they get older, they start buying their own things throughout the year, and when it comes to Christmas and birthdays, they're like, I don't know, everything I really wanted I've bought. But yeah, I don't know. We will see on Christmas Day. I'm sure there'll be a few selection boxes and a couple of pair of boxers and whatever else, if they don't ask for anything. So then that kind of leads us into this week's topic, and it is Christmas, and how do you stop yourself from getting so stressed, stop yourself from going over budget, and also stop yourself from getting into debt for Christmas. I think one of the things we obviously need to keep reminding ourselves is it's only one day. If you need to take yourself off of social media for a month or a couple of days or a couple of weeks or whatever it is, leading up and after or on Christmas, to kind of help your mental health in a sense, do it. If whatever it's going to take to help you get through that time, do it. You can see people painting a perfect picture. You can see people smiling in loads of shopping bags and out at Christmas markets, all wrapped up, and they've got their hot chocolate in hand or whatever they've got, and look very happy, and it's like, oh, family day out, or just out getting the kids Christmas shopping, and they've got all these bags. What you might not see is 10 people standing behind the camera waiting for them, and they're actually helping carrying their bags, or they're just holding their bags for that picture. Or it could be that they've got one thing in each bag. Do you know what I mean? And it might not even be anything expensive. It can be something at a couple of £. Looks can be deceiving. Always remember that quote when you're, especially on social media. Looks can be deceiving. And I'm not tarring anybody with any type of brush, and I'm not saying that everybody on social media lies, and I'm not saying that nobody's happy at Christmas, because that wouldn't be true either. There's many people that are happy. Many people can afford to buy lots of things, but everybody's financial situation is different, and we all have to remember that and respect that. We also need to start being more mindful about what we're throwing in others' faces. And it's not saying that you can't celebrate or you can't show that you're enjoying yourself or that you're out shopping. It's not saying that at all, as long as it's honest and it's not slightly adapted or aimed towards somebody that you know can't afford what you've got. So how can we kind of stay within our budget? Well, one of the things is obviously when you're sitting down with the children, especially young children, and they're writing their letters to Santa, if they write a letter to Santa, or a list to Santa, whatever they do, then guide them towards things that you know that you can afford, or as many gifts as you can afford. So say, for example, you know that you're going to be able to afford 10 gifts at a certain price. Then you tell the children, okay, so Santa said maximum 10 toys or 10 items on your list for everybody this year. And if they ask why, give them a child's story about why. So obviously Santa's got a lot of people, a lot of children that he has to visit, but also there's very many children out there who have nothing, or there's children out there that don't celebrate Christmas, and sometimes it's just nice to be a wee bit mindful, or it's nice to not be greedy and not ask for too much. Like, there's all these different things you can say to children, and it's just saying it in a way that obviously you don't want them to worry, or you don't want them to think that they're not being nice, or they're being bad or disrespectful or anything like that, because you don't ever want a child to feel that way. You want children to enjoy Christmas as long as possible. So just, you know your child and you know what your child will understand. So guide them to whether it be a price mark, or guide them towards how many items are allowed to put on the list. You decide. You know your budget, and you'll know how to work it. Like when my children were smaller, a lot younger, I would always say, yeah, you can write your list, but you need to remember Santa may not get everything on your list. He may pick whatever amount of toys or amount of presents for you, because he has to buy for all the other children, or has to deliver, however you want to say it, to all the children round the world. Because again, we may all tell our children a different story about where these toys come, because obviously children know you can buy these toys in stores, so you know that Santa's elves does make a lot of toys, but there's also sometimes maybe toys that are gifted to Santa to give to the children, or maybe Santa buys some toys for the children, things that are maybe the elves can't make. Like, I don't know if an elf can make a PlayStation 5. I don't know how tech-minded elves are these days. So things like that, you can have a little something ready for the kids. Obviously, just be careful your children aren't watching this. I should have said that at the beginning. I maybe put that in the disclosure in the heading. Again, when it comes to Christmas dinner, who says you have to have turkey? You could have chicken, you could have sausage casserole, you can have whatever you want. Again, it's all about your budget, and if you've got a partner, but you want to get each other something but you can't afford, why don't you set a budget at £5? A budget at, I don't know, £10, whatever your maximum would be. Maybe you can wait till the week of Christmas, see how much money you have got left. I know some people might get paid before Christmas, paid a week early or whatever, but you've got to remember then that wage has also got to be stretched for an extra week if you start dipping into it the week before payday. Just remember all these things. I know a lot of people take out like credit cards and loans and things, but again, remember it is one day. It's not even your child's birthday. It's not a celebration of your child. And if you're a Christian or anybody that's of a religious nature, please don't come for me. I'm not being disrespectful about religion, but what I'm saying is, this isn't, sometimes we go more out at Christmas than what we do at birthdays. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes we maybe get it a wee bit backwards, a wee bit inside out, back to front, upside down and whatever. Just don't, I mean, we're in a cost of living crisis as well. We keep getting told we're going to go into another recession. So what's the point in putting yourself further into debt for one day? Why are we taking out credit cards and taking out loans? Just to buy gifts to keep up with the Joneses, I suppose. If you've brought your children up correctly, and this isn't me going for anybody's parenting, if their child doesn't understand, don't get it twisted. But if you can have a conversation with your child and just explain about your financial situation, obviously if they're older, then you also don't want the children to feel as if they can't ask for anything, so give them a budget. Again, if they're older, they'll know, and if you can get them a wee surprise that they're not expecting, or a big surprise, whatever it might be, because you might find that actually near Christmas you've got a bit more money left than what you thought, then that's okay. But don't put pressure on yourself. Don't get to the point where it's affecting your mental health and you're making yourself ill and you can't eat and you can't do this, or that you're not eating because you're trying to save money to buy these Christmas presents, because I'm sure your children would rather have you around than have the latest gadget or the latest pair of shoes. Again, it's who says you have to buy things brand new? I remember when my kids were teeny tiny, there would be a couple of things that I've put in their Christmas that was maybe second hand, like maybe a wee trike that I've got off Marketplace or whatever, because what's the point in buying something like that brand new if you're going to get one that looks just as good as new when they're 2-year-old and they don't know any different, and they probably won't use it for that long, especially bikes and trikes and things like that, because they go up the next stage pretty quick, mainly because their growth and things like that. But say for example you've got a wee tot that maybe wants a kitchen, and I don't even know how much the kids' kitchens cost these days, but I'm sure they don't cost a tenner. Look on Marketplace, give it a wipe down, because you're going to build it anyway. They're not going to take it out the box on Christmas Day. You're going to have built it. So why not just go and buy a second-hand one? Yeah, you could go out and buy all the new pots and pans and cutlery and whatever else for that kitchen set, because I'm sure you could pick them up relatively cheaply. But even if you can't, if it comes with it, bonus, give them a wash and disinfectant or whatever else if you're worried about germs. Give it a wipe down, give it a spit and a polish if you want to put it like that. You don't have to go brand new for everything. And we all know that recycling is good and all this, so listen, you're helping the planet, you're helping your finances, you're helping your child, you're helping everybody. Everybody's happy. So let's sometimes think, right, maybe I can't buy brand new, but let's see if I can get something second hand. And obviously if it's a gadget, you want to see that it's working, so do not pass any money through bank transfer. Do not send any money as friends and family on, PayPal. All these things, be careful of scams, but if you do go on Marketplace and you do see something, you want to see it working. Say for example, it's somebody down south and you're up north, or you know what I mean, like they're a couple hours away. Ask for a video call to show you the item, show you it working if it is a gadget. Offer to pay PayPal, but to pay PayPal, you need to do it through buying goods. Do it that way, because then if it comes and it's not exactly what they showed you on the video call, then you can request your money back, whereas if you were to do it as friends and family, you cannot get your money back, because you're basically saying you're gifting this money to a friend or a family member. You're not saying you're buying something. If it's somewhere local, then go look at the item, but I would take somebody with you and pay cash. Do not do a bank transfer, just in case anything. Well, you could do bank transfer actually, but again, don't send any money, friends and family. But go and see the item if you can. If you can, ask for a video call. And if they say, oh, I don't have, what do you call that one on Apple? FaceTime. Don't have FaceTime. Listen, if they're on Marketplace, I'm sure they've got Messenger, which means they can do a video call that way. Everybody these days has got WhatsApp. They can do a video call that way. So do not let anybody give you any nonsense, we'll put it that way. I was going to say something else there, but I need to be nice because it's Christmas. So yeah, think outside the box. This is the thing, and this is a big thing that I do in my therapy business, is finding a way to think outside the box. Your child wants football boots and a 3-year-old? Look on Marketplace. Your child wants football boots and they're 15 years old? Then yeah, you probably are going to buy them brand new. Your child wants a bike and they're 4-year-old? Buy it on Marketplace. Your child wants a bike and they're 14? Yeah, you're probably going to buy brand new. But again, there may be bikes that they want on Marketplace. And if you again explain to them, I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine with that. I mean, nobody has to know. It's not as if you're going to put an advert out and saying, I bought Johnny a bike for his Christmas and it was second hand, and letting everybody know. It's between you, the person you bought it from, and anybody that you decide to tell. Nobody else. Nobody's business. So if your child is worried about their friends finding out, how are they going to know? Unless you're buying it off a friend and they go about telling everybody, then nobody's going to know. Buy it from the next town next to you. Don't buy it from whatever it takes to reassure your child. Yeah. Your child wants to buy a PlayStation 5? Listen, do you know how much of a nightmare the PlayStation 5s were to buy when they first came out? My oldest son had to wait. We'd pre-ordered them for my youngest and offered to pre-order for my oldest as well, and he was like, nah, I don't want it. The day that it came out and my youngest got his, he decided he wanted one as well. But it ended up, and it wasn't that I was paying all that money out myself, don't get me wrong. It was myself and other family members were all putting money in together to get this. It's not something that they would have got, and that's, do you know what I mean? It was from more than just me. And my oldest, because he left it so late, and because obviously you had the pandemic and everything else, it was like 6 months or something he waited for it. But that's what happens when you say no and then change your mind. And it wasn't, you couldn't get them obviously second hand because they were just out. But yeah, there's many times that I have. I mean, how many times have you donated to a charity shop, or you've said to a friend or a family member, oh, I've got a bag of clothes that you can get, or I've got this or I've got that, and you all kind of give to each other. So why is it different? Because it's Christmas. Do you know, it's a word, it's a day. Take the pressure off yourself and think outside the box. Say for example, your child is like my youngest. He's a very gadget orientated person, and that's his life, but that's also what he wants his career to be, is to do with technology, to do with computing and all these things. So yeah, that's fine. But there he went and bought a games console, and it's not a new one, it's one from when I was young. So if they want something like that, they're going to buy it second hand. So if you think the kids are going to buy things second hand, they trade in their games. Teenagers trade in games, don't they? And then they go and buy second hand games in the likes of Game or CEX, or I don't know the names of all the shops, all these different places. They'll go, they'll buy a game, they'll complete it, they'll trade it in, and they'll get another one, and that game's probably second hand as well. So if the kids are willing to do second hand, again, why is it different at Christmas? It's not different, and that's the point I'm making. And if you go back to the whole social media thing, I'm sure there's many times throughout the year where you've looked at somebody's social media and you thought, they're painting a very happy picture there, but I know that last week there was something that they've told you, or something that's happened, or whatever, and they were very upset, or they're maybe scared or whatever. And this isn't me saying laughing in somebody's face, but it's just to prove that most people on social media will only show you the happy times, and obviously won't show you the not so happy times, which is absolutely fine. That's their prerogative. But nobody's happy 24/7. Nobody's life is easy 24/7, 365 for a full lifetime. We all struggle. Some struggle more than others, obviously. And just because somebody's got a good job or a good wage or a good whatever doesn't mean to say they're not struggling with money, because we all know that the more money you earn, the more you spend. The more money you earn, the bigger your house, the bigger your car, which means the bigger your monthly outgoings. And I think we tend to forget these kind of things when we're sitting thinking about what others might have, or what you can see that they have. So you can see they've got a nice big house and it's all fancy, or it's a new build or whatever, and maybe got a wee bit of land, and they've got maybe 3 cars, and yeah, that's all fair and well, but think about how much money that person's paying out every month, because it's not just the bigger house they're paying out for, or the 3 cars they're paying out for. They're also paying the higher insurance for the house. They're also paying a higher premium for the cars, higher insurance potentially for the cars. Then you've got probably the council tax will be higher, and all these things add up. So yeah, they might have a higher wage than you, a higher take home pay than you, but they're also paying out a lot more. So it could be that actually at the end of the month they've got less than you, or they've got the same as what you've got at the end of the month by the time you pay out yours. So having more doesn't always mean having more, if that makes sense. I feel as if I've went in a wee rant, and I didn't mean it to be a rant. I just want everybody to... We always talk about being mindful about others' feelings, but can we also be mindful about our own feelings and check in with ourselves every now and again and ask ourselves, and I said this before, not today, I don't know if it was last week or a few weeks ago, about checking in with yourself. Like, ask yourself, you might not want to say it out loud, but check in with yourself. Sit back and think, how am I feeling today? How have I been feeling recently? What's been worrying me? Has anything been worrying me? Is there something that I want to do that I've been putting off? Is there something I want to buy that I've been putting off? Like, for example, I don't go out shopping. I don't go out socialising very much. I pretty much spend most of my time either working or with my boys, but that's where I'm happiest. And also, I'm trying to build 2 businesses, and I also have children with additional needs, additional support needs. So that's absolutely fine for me, and I absolutely love my life. And yeah, you might say now and again I might feel like, oh, I want to do this, but then you're like, oh no, it's fine, I won't bother. So I don't spend really any money on myself, but I enjoy being on social media, and I'll maybe subscribe to 1 or 2 people on social media, and throughout the month that's maybe what, £5-10. So I sit and think, well, if I was to go for coffee with a friend twice a month, that would be the same amount of money, and I'm getting probably the same amount, if not more, enjoyment from it, because you have a laugh. You get to talk about your secrets, or offload to people that you know aren't going to go away and tell everybody that you already know your deepest, darkest secrets. And I'm not saying you give away all your secrets, don't mean it like that, but if you felt a bit low, you know that you can say, oh, I'm not having a great day today, and there will be people there for you. Not that I've been in that position, but it's just, I'm just kind of showing you that we all check in with ourselves, and we all have to think, right, what do we need at this time? So it could be in 6 months' time I think, do you know what, I'm going to stop subscribing and I'm actually going to start going out and socialising. And that's absolutely fine as well, because I've decided to do that for myself and nobody's forced me into doing it. Nobody said, you have to do this or you have to do that. I've thought, right, this is my time. I mean, we all know I don't like the winter. So it might come the summer and the sun is shining and the weather is sweet. I'm not going to sing again. I'm going to give your ears a chance to stop bleeding. But yeah, our moods may change through the seasons. Some people like cold weather and will be happy as a pig and whatever at this time of year. Others, like myself, will be wrapped up walking about like a frozen snotter for anybody that doesn't speak Scottish. I love heat, but I also love the look of winter. So see all that crispiness. I know I moaned about the snow earlier, right? Just forget that wee moan earlier. I like when I look outside, and because when I look out, when I go outside more, I can see like sort of hills in the far distance, and I love looking at them in the winter because you can see they're all white. I like to look out the window and you can see everything's all crisp and cold and whatever else, but I don't want to be out in that. I do not want to feel that pain going through my bones. My bones don't do coldness. But then in the summer, I love the heat, but we don't really get that here. But let me dream. Let me dream about it, right? Because we used to get it. I blame Greta. But I love the heat. And I also love looking outside when it's nice and bright and sunny. I think what I'm trying to say is you can never win and you're never happy. I don't know, do you agree? But I think, first and foremost, sit down with yourself or your partner, husband, wife, whoever it may be. Sit and write a wee budget for yourselves for Christmas. Write down how much you've got for gifts, divide it by the children and whoever else you need to buy for. So work out, say you want to spend £10 on your parents each and maybe siblings £5 or £10, and then the kids get whatever they get. Now, I'm not telling you how much to spend. This is me just throwing numbers at you, because who am I to tell anybody? I'm always skint. Then think about, right, so if that's how much we're spending on gifts, how much are we spending on food and drinks? And it doesn't need to be alcoholic drinks. It can be non-alcoholic. It can be your Coca-Colas and your Iron Brews and your whatever else. Or it can be your beers, wines and spirits. Sit and write that down. Once you know how much you've got to spend on your food and drink, then you can start thinking about, right, what we're going to have. So some people might have a 3-course meal at Christmas, some people might have a 2, some might have 1. You may only have breakfast and an evening meal, or you may have 3 meals, or you might be like myself where you have like a sort of brunch and an evening meal. Do you want to fry up in the morning? Do you just want to do cereal? Are you just going to eat the chocolate all day? Like, you do you. Just because Rosie down the street is going to have a full fry up, and then she's going to have a lunch, and then she's going to have a 3-course evening meal, doesn't mean to say that that's what you have to have. You might decide, we're going to have a fry up, and then we're going to just do 2 courses later on, your main meal and your dessert. Or it might be that you have cereal in the morning or toast, you have your soup for your lunch, and then your 2 courses, or you might do 3 courses, or whatever you want to do. But you do what you can afford, you do what you feel comfortable doing, and do not let anybody else tell you otherwise. And just, like I said at the beginning, always remember, what you see online isn't always true. Some people, and it's not to say that they're doing it to make others jealous. They may be doing it to make themselves feel better, because that's maybe what they're seeing online, so they think that that's what they have to show online. Everybody's got a story to tell, and none of us are here to judge anybody. Don't judge. Don't start slander. Don't start sort of name calling or telling people you can't do this or you can't do that. Everybody can do exactly what they want to do. You just concentrate on you, and you concentrate on your family. As long as you can sleep well at night, that's the main thing. And again, I don't sleep either. I just sound like an old Grinch, don't I? Like, I just moan constantly. I blame the cold weather. See, if it was sunny the now, I would be ecstatic. My dad's going to Australia next week, and I'm not best pleased. Not that I'm not pleased he's going to Australia. No, that's not the problem. The problem is he's going to sunshine, and I'm not. I don't know how much I'd really want to sit on the beach on Christmas Day, to be fair. Christmas, you're meant to have snow. I was going to say sand there. Christmas, you're meant to have snow, and you're meant to see Santa's footprints leading up the garden path, or your reindeer prints on your roof if you've got a chimney. You're not supposed to be sitting on any beaches making sandcastles. Not for me. Not today. Not this year. Maybe when I win that lottery and I want to spend all my money. I'm going to stop moaning at you now. I didn't mean to moan. I'm sorry if I moaned. Please come back again. But I am working tonight, so I'll finish work, I think, about 8:30, I don't know. And then I will, what will I do after that? I need to phone my cousin. I was meant to phone her last night, and then I told her I'd phone her today, and I've not done it yet. But if anybody's been on TikTok, you'll see that I was on live on 2 accounts today. I went live on the podcast page, then I done a few bits, then I went live on the therapy page. Then what did I do after that? Done something after that. I started, done some work on my laptop, then I had to go to Asda. Then I was dreading making dinner, but it ended up I didn't make the dinner I was going to make. I made the dinner I was making tomorrow. So tonight's dinner's now tomorrow. So I made homemade pizza, so that was quite quick. I was supposed to make chicken satay from scratch, but that didn't happen. Which I was actually glad at, because I couldn't be bothered cutting up chicken and cutting up chilies and everything else. It's such a moan. Moany, moany. Who remembers that song? Oh, what was that song called again? In the midnight. Aye, I can't remember the name of it, and I don't want to keep singing it, because one of these days somebody's going to come for me and like, you singing my song, you owe me money. I'm like, nope, not me, don't have any, but you can give me some if you want for advertising your music. I'm trying to think if I've got a story for you. Well, talking about Christmas, so I don't know if I've told you this story before, but we were talking about it. My cousin came over to my mum's, when was it? Monday or Tuesday? What day is this? Wednesday, so it must have been Monday. She came over to my mum's, and I had already been talking about this at the weekend to my cousin, and then we ended up just somehow got on at the same topic. So seeing as we're talking about Christmas, I got, now if you're as old as me or older you might remember this, if you're younger than me you probably won't, I got an a la carte kitchen. A la carte, that sounds dead posh, doesn't it? Very French, au français. I got an a la carte kitchen for my Christmas one year. I think I was 7, and I was so excited because I was so excited leading up to Christmas because the advert, now you can still see it on YouTube, so if you want to go and have a look and see that I'm not telling any lies. In the advert for this now, there was a young girl, her dad was in his bed, and she toddled in with her a la carte kitchen because it had wheels on it. So she took her a la carte kitchen in and she made her dad beans for his breakfast. Can you tell where I'm going with this? Fuming I was. I was ecstatic that I got my a la carte kitchen, but I was fuming, raging. I was missold my product, and if back then was the way it was now, I would be going to Trading Standards about that a la carte kitchen. I was missold, and I want to complain. My a la carte kitchen didn't cook beans. In fact, my a la carte kitchen didn't cook anything. So how did she get one that cooked beans and I didn't? How did she get one that worked and I didn't? What was so special about her that wasn't special about me? Can you tell that I hold a grudge? I'm still raging about that. I am still fuming. I want answers from Santa, because no, I had it planned in my head, because my mum and dad at the weekends, because they both worked, my mum was a nurse and my dad worked for, I don't know where he worked at the time. He either worked as a bus driver or in an ambulance or at BT. I can't remember when he finished one and moved on to the other, so he worked in one of the three, and at the weekends they would have a long lie and me and my brother would just get up and play with our toys. So I had it planned. I was taking my a la carte kitchen into their room and I was going to make their breakfast and I was going to serve it to them in their beds, nice and hot, and I was going to be like the best chef in the world at 7-year-old, and I couldn't even heat any water in it. Somebody tell me how that's fair. Now, if my mum and dad asked me to make them breakfast in bed now, I'd tell them where to go. But at 7-year-old, you get excited about these things. You get, you look forward to it. You see something on the telly and you think that's exactly what you're going to get, and then you don't get it. And then 40 years later nearly, I'm not 47 by the way, I did say nearly, I'm not 46 either, but nearly 40 years later, and I'm still holding a grudge about my a la carte kitchen. I'm not sleeping tonight. I'm going to cry myself to sleep. Tears on my pillow, flame in my heart. Anyway, this is another short one for you because I know how much. I'm sure for what I've not given you the last, what did I do last? I think I done the full hour last week, didn't I? So it's only going to be much. I think this one's going to be about 50 minutes, so just 10 minutes off. But I mean, by the time I finish, it's probably going to be 10 minutes over. So yes, be mindful not just of others, but of yourself. Write lists, make a budget, don't go over it, have a wee chat with the kids, don't think of it as second hand if you do decide to go down the marketplace, because a lot of things on marketplace are brand new as well, still get tags on them. If you're going to buy online, do not do friends and family on PayPal, and don't do bank transfers if you don't know what you're getting. What else? Yeah, just budget. If you need to come off your social media to give yourself a wee breather, come off social media. You can take wee mini breaks. You don't need to fully close down your accounts and things like that. You can just come off. If it means deleting the app or just logging out of it, just do it. Listen, we all need to take a break from social media now and again just to make ourselves remind ourselves of what life really is and what it's not. If anybody is looking for any kind of therapy, so as I've said many times, I have counselling, which can be one-to-one, as a group, couple therapy, couple counselling, family counselling. It can be for your employees, it can be for you, if it's within a business. Many different ways we can do things in business. Or maybe you want coaching, get life coaching, wellness and business coaching, and business coaching. Or maybe you want something a wee bit hands-on, so we've got Indian head massage, hoppy ear candling, hot stone massage therapy, and cupping massage therapy. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I was doing well. If you want any of them, just contact myself either through Reboot Your Thoughts podcast social media pages, or email rebootyourthoughtspodcast@gmail.com, or you can jump on the therapy page, which is the Reboot Sanctuary, and you can send a message there. We've got Instagram, TikTok, Facebook and X /Twitter, whatever you want to call it. There's also the website, which is therebootsanctuary.com. What else have we got? If you would like to advertise your business, or if you would like to sponsor the podcast, there's packages for all. There is various different sizes of packages for, and listen, doesn't matter the size of your business, we've got something for everybody and something for everybody's budget. I think that's really all. If you want to nominate somebody who you think might be feeling a bit lonely over Christmas to receive either a Christmas card and a letter, or just a letter if they don't celebrate Christmas, because like I've said many times, I will not send a Christmas card to somebody and be disrespectful if they don't celebrate Christmas. We know that there are people out there who are blind or maybe struggle with reading for various reasons. They may be dyslexic or other learning difficulties. So if that's the case, let us know and we can arrange either a phone call, video call, or a recorded video message, for them, and we can get that to them as well. Just to let them know that there is somebody out there that cares, there are people out there that care, and that there's no need for them to be lonely. If you do know anybody that's struggling, my therapy business operates on Christmas Day and New Year's Day free of charge. The phone is on 24/7, and anybody, you don't have to be a current or past client to phone up on that day to speak to somebody. That phone is open for everybody. And I think that's really all. Now there you go, you get nearly another 10 minutes out of me there. But I am going to go just now because I am working shortly and I still need to edit this and get it uploaded. But I hope everybody has a fantastic week. If anybody would like any suggestions about how to sit down and budget or how to talk to their children, you can contact me free of charge and I'll give you advice free of charge. Because Christmas is about giving and not receiving. So enjoy your week. I hope everybody stays well. Be mindful not only of your others but also of yourself, and if you need to talk. And I will speak to you all soon. Okay, bye bye.